What a lovely day.
It's a beautiful day.
Where are we?
Kingswood Junction.
Kingswood Junction. What's over there?
Stratford-upon-Avon Canal.
That's it, the Grand Union Canal that way. And behind us, and where this boat has come from, is the continuation of the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal.
And you can't actually see it now because the boat's in the way.
Well, we'll
but
wait.
It's like a little...
There's a weir, isn't there?
Yeah.
What's beyond that? What?
a nature reserve.
It's a nature reserve. But it's one of these, it's a little mini reservoir that helps supply the junctions of the two canals here with water.
All the locks.
Because canals weren't very good with water. They lost it very easily. They leaked very much, and the locks leaked very much. So they had to have continuous supply, didn't they?
You can see through the lock there, but obviously you're not going to be able to see it on camera, but I can see it. It looks like a very leaky lock. If you actually look through the lock gates there,
well, do you know what? We're going to have a little look at that one. We saw a massively leaky lock, didn't we, on our first short video?
Yes.
It was at where were we? Hungerford.
Hungerford, that's
Lock
it.
74.
Yeah.
Whoa, I've never seen a lock leak so much. So let's have a look. We got FB Lisette or Lisette.
It's a beautiful looking
Willenhall.
bird.
That's a nice old working boat. Lovely old working boat. Just asked the chap if he minded if we use the video that we've got with his boat in it on our video, and he was very gracious to say yes, of course. $70 foot? Got to be 70 foot. Canal is this?
This is the arm.
What does the arm do?
There's.
Silly question, silly answer. Okay, so you're right, it is the arm, and it was built to connect the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal to this canal. And what canal is this?
Birmingham that way, and Warwick that way.
So it was the Birmingham and Warwick Canal. But it's not anymore, is it? Because it
No.
became the Grand Junction Canal.
Yeah.
Then it became the Grand Union Canal. And it runs, I think, from Brentford on the River Thames right the way up to Birmingham. And it joins the Birmingham Canal network up that way. The arm meant that cargoes coming up or down from the two big cities of England could cross here, and they could go south down towards Stratford-upon-Avon, or they could go further across, going north and then west, join the Birmingham and Worcester Canal, from where they could go south down the River Severn to Gloucester, or they could go north on the Shropshire Union Canal up to Liverpool, or even on the Llangollen Canal and to Wales. And of course, boat traffic could come in all different directions.
Yep.
But what's tricky about this bridge? What if you were an old-time boater, no engine, you've got a horse pulling? What are we missing here?
A towpath.
There's not a towpath.
No.
So what do they have to do?
Well, they would have unhooked the horses here, brought them over the bridge, taken them down onto the other towpath and rehooked them back up there.
That's it. Disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah, and
then
they would have pushed the boat obviously,
manually pull it
through and off they
Heavy
went.
old boats. We saw that one go through that lovely, a 72-footer boat. Can you imagine on your own doing that? Turning that through. But over there at the other end, there's a very different and very innovative bridge, and quite rare, and it allows a boat to come up from one towpath onto the bridge and down the other side, and the rope can stay connected to the boat. And I think we should go and take a look at that.
Yes.
We have seen them before when we did the 3 aqueducts on Stratford-upon-Avon Canal, I don't know, 12 videos ago, I think, when it was freezing cold in the winter. We saw them then. But there's 3 or 4 here, and I think we should go and take a peek. Now this split bridge would have enabled a horse coming from the Grand Union Canal and the Arm to pull its boat to here, where it would continue on with its own momentum. The horse would come up here. I think they threw the rope around the bobbin here and then dropped it through the split between the 2 bridges. And then the horse would make its way off. The rope would come off the bobbin the right way, and he would just make contact with the boat again. I believe that's how it worked. There are up here a number of cut marks where ropes have rubbed through. Ropes, they get in the water, they pick up grit, they become like sandpaper. And although this is iron, they've rubbed right through. And this side, it's nearly all the way. They took a bit of a battering, our bridges on the canals, didn't they? But they did their job for, about 150 years. And then, of course, the railways battered them out of the way. But today we have them for our holidays and our recreation. And there's nothing quite like taking a lovely, slow, narrowboat holiday. So imagine your horse has pulled your boat all the way from Stratford-upon-Avon and got to this lock. And while the lock is cycling and the boat's going down, the horse, still connected by rope to the boat, goes up that little slope there, walks around, that tree wouldn't have been there, gets to the bridge, walks over the top, and as the horse passes over here, a chap guiding the horse drops the rope through here, passes it around the other side, leaning the horse over this side. When the boat has cycled through the lock, as they pull around this curved wall, the boat will come around. They get some momentum on it, and then they would have to maneuver it around, and away they go. It looks like a lot of hard work, but much easier than pulling it by hand, which is what you would have to do if you couldn't get your rope through the split in the bridge. Really clever. There's no real evidence of rope rubbing around that corner, but I still think the ropes would have been passed around there. And I suppose, given that the boat would have been nosing its way out here, there wouldn't have been much pressure on the wall at all. So this looks like a split bridge. It's been metal plated, steel plated across the middle here. It's the same construction. 2 short arms of the bridge on solid masonry bases. And the idea behind it was horse would pull the boat through, cross over, dropping the rope through here, I suppose the only benefit to this little one here is so that a horse could pull the boat into the basin. It doesn't make any sense otherwise. There's about 4 of these in this area, actually 5. There's 2 behind us, one just over here which we're going to take a really close look at. Then there's one on the link, and then there's 2 on Lapworth Locks. And there's one at the top of Lapworth Locks that is probably in the best condition of them all because it's got the little bobbin that's there that allows for the rope to pass through and around it and to stop it snagging up.
This is the arm looking back towards the Grand Union Canal, and here behind me is the link towards the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal.
So when they finished the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal, which is a narrowboat canal, if you wanted to get your narrowboat from here to the Grand Union via the arm, you had to go up a lock through Lock 21, around the point there to Lock 20, through the split bridge to Lock 20, and then on you went. And the canal, they were the same level, this side to that side. But a little while after they finished the canal and built this additional lock, they made this, the link. And it seemed so obvious. So they built a narrow boat width link or cut straight the way through. So if you're coming up from Stratford, you could turn here and on you go, Grand Union Canal, north or south. Or the opposite way, if you're coming from Grand Union, in you go, Stratford south, Stratford north. Seems so obvious. But sometimes an answer is staring you in the face, isn't it? And it doesn't really come to you until after lots of effort. But look at all the effort that saves from travelling up and down. Absolutely perfect. To the right, Stratford-upon-Avon. This is Lock 21. Over there is Lock 20, the arm, and onto the Grand Union Canal. You can't moor here if you're not a permanent resident. There's some temporary mooring up the right here. There's a little bit beyond the next lock, which I think will be Lock 22. And there's a little bit going up that way at the bottom end and up at the top end of Lapworth. Lapworth locks are really cool. We went there once and we took a load of photographs. We do plan to go back and film there. Not too long, I hope. And hopefully on a boat. Bridge 35A, smaller split bridge, Lock 19, and that way is Lapworth Locks, Stratford-upon-Avon Canal onto the Worcester and Birmingham Canal, where it joins at Kings Norton. Kingswood Junction is a significant location on the Grand Union Canal, and the Grand Union is one of the longest and busiest canals in the United Kingdom. The canal connects London to Birmingham and other major cities. Kingswood Junction sits at the intersection between the Grand Union Canal and the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal. The history at Kingswood Junction dates back to the late 18th century when the Grand Junction Canal Company began constructing the Grand Junction Canal. The canal was first proposed in the 1790s as a way to create a direct waterway between the industrial heartlands of the Midlands and the thriving metropolis of London. Construction began in 1793 and the canal was completed in 1805, linking the River Thames at Brentford to the River Severn via the Staffordshire and Worcester Canal and the Birmingham Canal network. The canal quickly became a vital trade route for coal, timber and other goods. In the early 19th century, the Stratford-upon-Avon Canal was built to connect the towns of Warwickshire under the wider canal network. Kingswood Junction was established as the point where the two canals would intersect. This junction allowed for goods to be transferred from Birmingham to London via the Grand Junction Canal and also enabled goods to be transported from Stratford-upon-Avon Canal to London and Birmingham via the Grand Union Canal. During the 19th century, Kingswood Junction became a busy commercial centre, with warehouses, wharves and other businesses springing up around the canal. The goods transported through the junction included coal, iron, timber and agricultural produce. Kingswood Junction also became an important stop for passenger boats travelling between London and the Midlands. The 20th century brought changes to the canal industry, with the advent of roll and rail transport leading to a decline in canal traffic. Many of the warehouses and businesses around Kingswood Junction were abandoned or repurposed, and the canal itself fell into disrepair. However, in the latter part of the century, there was renewed interest in the canal as a leisure destination. The Grand Union Canal was restored and reopened in 1974, and today, Kingswood Junction is a popular spot for boaters, walkers and tourists. In conclusion, Kingswood Junction has played an essential role in the history of the Grand Union Canal, linking the two main waterways and serving as a hub for trade and transportation. Boaters' facilities at Kingswood Junction: refuse disposal, LSAN, freshwater top-up, pump-out, toilets and showers. It's been a nice day.
It's been a beautiful day.
Shirt sleeves.
Yes.
Wow, you got a tan?
Nah, still white.
Takes a lot longer for you, doesn't it? You burn
I burn first.
lobster red first.
Yeah.
God damn it. We came to Lapworth Basin, I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe closer to 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a bit cold, a bit frosty.
It was cold.
You were wittering. You had 14 coats on.
I did not have 14 coats on. I just don't do the cold. I hate it.
Oh, we brought a heat. There's a heater here behind us. You can't see it, but it's a little blast. Oh, okay. I better behave myself. I'll get a slap. So, but we did say we'd come back and film it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And it's interesting when you look at the way that they've set it up, and later on when they cut that link, I think that was, you know, I love to learn about how the canals have grown and how they innovated and overcame all the obstacles and stuff. You just love the scenery and
I just love the scenery,
the tranquility of it all.
The nature.
Yeah.
I like looking at the boats, don't get me wrong. I love the boats.
Ah.
I love, you know, my favourite is the canal locks.
Oh, absolutely. I love them all. I love it all. I love the history. I love the boats. I like being out here. You know, you meet lots of really nice folks. You see some great wildlife, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Not too much though. We had a bit of a funny neurotic swan earlier, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's been pretty cool. So what are we doing next?
Going down to the Thames Canal.
Thames Severn Canal. Now that's a disused canal, but it's under reconstruction. And it ran from Stroud in Gloucestershire, and it joined the River Thames at Lechlade-on-Thames. And bits of it are under restoration. I reckon it's 20 years in the restoring of, because there's lots to do. There's the longest tunnel ever, called Sapperton Tunnel, and that's collapsed in a couple of places, I think.
I'd like to do that.
Oh, do you know
I know
what?
You can't take a boat through it.
We can't get in, so we'll look at the two ends and we'll talk about, ooh, big tunnel. But I think that video is going to be about 3 parts.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start that next week, hopefully, all things being well. And if we can, during that, we'll chat to the Cotswold Canal Trust and see if we can get somebody involved. That would be really nice if we could do that.
That would just be perfect.
I would love that. But we're also planning a bit of a trip away, aren't we?
We're going to go away at the end of next month.
End of next month. Cheshire.
Not a boat, a
No.
nice cottage.
Cottage, because we can cover more ground, can't we?
Yes.
But we are going to go out on a boat in October.
We're going to go at the end of October, beginning of November, but we are actually taking 2 doggies. Not our doggies.
No, the Outlaws dogs.
Well, my mum's, dogs. They're coming on their holiday because they're going to Mexico.
The dogs?
No, the Outlaws, the parents, they're going to Mexico.
We're getting the dogs.
Yeah, we get the dogs.
So what's Woody? He's half Blancmange, half Chihuahua, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like he doesn't move, does he?
No, he doesn't. No.
Sam he was a rescue from Romania or something, wasn't he?
But Sam will walk and walk and walk.
Oh,
Woody will just,
a chalk and cheese, lovely little chaps. Anyway, they're coming. We'll have to get little vests for them and things like that.
Will, yeah. They'll enjoy it.
A landing net, scoop them out when they fall in.
Not going in the canal.
Anyway, meanwhile, thank you very much for watching our video.
And subscribe to our channel.
Please do that. And also hit the like button. And when you subscribe, click the little bell button and you'll get notified when we make a new video. We are now getting pretty regimental about this, and we upload our videos pretty much on a Wednesday night, don't we?
We do.
We film them over the weekend, and then I've got 2 or 3 days to muck about, iron out the creases and put them together. So join us again soon. Thanks very much. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Cheerio. Bye-bye.